Okay, so fun fact, about a month ago we took some cuttings from this Fuji apple tree and that Fuji apple tree. On the other side, it's the Gala apples. Those are going to end up getting uprooted in another week or so. We're going to plant them here in between here and here. That big almond, black walnut tree, I'm sorry, coming down. Been cutting them piece by piece, but I want that wood for burning. I've asked if people wanted these trees, but nobody seems to want them. But that is about a 20-30 foot tree, way too overgrown. His friend over there, he's another overgrown, so there's two black walnut trees. So if anybody wants them before I cut them down, let me know. Otherwise, it's just going to be fantastic wood for burning. But yeah, so gonna start pruning these trees this week. Starting to get a little colder, so my November job is to prune my apple trees down. They've been overgrown too from the previous owners of this house that was here. So we're gonna cut them down, make them like they would be at an orchard, and hopefully in the next couple of summers we get good production going into fall for each of them. But the fun thing was we took a couple of the cuttings from there and planted them in here as a joke and something that I wanted to do with my daughter, but they ended up rooting relatively quickly. So I have some with fresh buds on them. I just trimmed it, but I've got some fresh buds that have been popping out of them lately. So some new stuff that I just trimmed it back a little bit, but very much alive. Where'd you go? Let's zoom in on this guy. No, you don't want to. But you know, the cuttings are nice. They're very full and full inside. They're very much alive. They're very much getting the water they need. And then there's another one right here. This small guy, much the same. Very green, new buds starting to pop out of it. So at least I know it's rooting. And then somewhere along this row here, straight to there, are the Honeycrisp seeds that we planted. Still too early to kind of see anything, so probably before winter something might sprout out, and then we'll check again spring into summer. This is more of a let's see if these grow and try and grow a couple from scratch in the ground, then try them in the pot. And if they don't work, then we're just going to go to Stark Brothers, who are fantastic, and grab a couple of trees from there that are already bare root, and then plant some of those in the ground in the spring, and then make this whole corner basically an orchard, so to speak. So those black walnut trees will be gone. There's plenty of space with 3 trees back there. The other tree, 2 trees to the left of the yard, we're going to put over here. Hopefully these guys root a little bit bigger, then they can be moved to another spot of the yard. And then there's a whole area that's here and here and here. We've already planted another taproot from that massive fig tree, so it took to the ground, which is going to be cool. So in the spring that's going to start sprouting even more too. So we're going to have one extra little tree over there, and a couple other that are ready to go, that are in pots on the patio, trying to propagate those. But overall, in the next couple of weeks, some nice wood for burning, some trimming commenced. That used to be an almond tree, did nothing, housed a bird, didn't want to cut it down until the bird was gone. But in here, yeah, is the big mamma jamma turkey fig tree, and as you can see, the leaves are starting to come off of it. So there are lots and lots and lots and lots of branches and stuff that are going to get cut and put in planters to be propagated. So I'm going to try and do as many as I can. If I can get at least 100 cuttings or so off of this one when I trim it, I'm going to try and do that. And if I get a bunch that pop, I'll give some to friends. If I get at least 3 nice ones, I'm going to plant them together and root for this to be another big massive fig tree like this in years to come. But yeah, the root systems are fantastic on this. There is some poison ivy in here still that's got to get killed off and whatnot, but some of the roots are in there. Some of these guys I can cut from the root. What's up, Tobe? Some of these roots, I can probably just pull them right out. And if I get lucky enough to get the roots like I did on the last ones, I will plant them, and those I know for sure will come out much sooner than not. So here's where the nectarine tree is. That's freshly trimmed. And over here is where we put in the big taproot. This is about 13 inches long down into the ground, but its root system was about 6 or 7 inches outward, and it's taking very nicely. We still have our first guy who sprouted out, so that's a good sign, and this can keep doing its thing, rooting underneath it, and once it becomes tall enough to be big on its own and noticeable, maybe we'll either uproot it and put it in a pot and leave that one as a potted turkey fig tree, or we will just leave it where it is and add a couple more propagated ones around it, and then, like I said, hopefully it will become this big guy. Not this big guy, but this big guy.